What's going on, you guys? Today I want to share with you guys a piece of equipment that I use when I go out there shooting. And it's a very simple thing. A lot of you guys have these laying around, especially if you guys are younger people. Your parents may have some of these cameras laying around. This camera right here is 2012 technology. This is an old camera. It's 14 megapixels, Nikon Coolpix. Canon pulled out with these. Kodak pulled out with these. There's so many of these style cameras. You can find them anywhere, and they're pretty cheap. But your parents most likely have one of these laying around. And one of the things that I like about these cameras is that they're ready to go. So when I show up to a spot, I have my camera bag and I'll use this. I'll have this camera in my pocket and I'll pull this out and I'll just start busting with this camera. This is like my warm-up camera. The reason why I like using this camera to warm up is because it introduces everybody to what I'm doing there. And it gets everybody used to see me with a camera in my hand. So by the time I pull out the DSLR, they already know what I'm there to do. So it's kind of like an introduction without having to introduce myself. So this is what I use. It's a very ice-breaking type of tool that I use when I show up, whether it's a private event or it's at a picnic or car show or whatever. Usually I'll pull this out and people already know what time it is. Learning photography, learning diffusion and things like that, I noticed that these cameras, as well as every other camera, the flash is very aggressive and it can blow out your photos. So some cameras have control. You can turn the flash up or down, but a lot of people don't know how to really exercise the flash. So they just use the flash that's set and it blows out most of the photos. So because I was learning diffusion, I put a piece of matte tape around on the flash here, not the glossy tape, but matte, the little, it's kind of like dull looking. I put that on my flash and it diffused the flash. So the photos come out really warm. You guys can experiment with this. You guys should try it out. I recommend it because it does kill some of that flash. If you guys want the aggressive flash, then keep it how it was, but this is an option. All right, you guys, especially for close-ups in a close space. I don't want to say it could be used anywhere, really, to be honest, but it just diffuses the flash. That's all. It's just a little diffuser idea. So anyways, I just wanted to share with you guys because so many people get caught up in getting cameras and you see somebody with a big rig and you think like, oh, I need a camera like that. When you get into photography or videography, you have to determine what type of shooter you want to be. Do you want to be a portrait shooter? Do you want to be a point and shoot shooter? Do you want to be a filmmaker? Do you just want to capture moments or whatever? If you're just the kind of person that just does it because you're just outside and you just want to capture some stuff, your phone is good enough. All right. But if you want to start making films and you want to start editing and start making merchandise, then you have to step up your camera game just a little bit. I think at the very minimum, you should at least acquire a 24 megapixel camera. I mean, you can still do with a 16, 18, I believe. But I think 24 is a safe place. It's like you're not like at the best, but you're not at the worst. You're like at the third quarter, in my opinion. I mean, now it's different because it's like 4K, 8K, 12K cameras, even higher than that. So, but on a consumer level, you guys understand what I'm saying.